What was the principal purpose of short films historically, and what is the principal purpose of them now? A short film is defined as a movie which has an initial running time of 40 minutes or less, including all the credits, according to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Science. In the early 1920s, short comedies became increasingly popular, with Charlie Chaplin starring in them. But over time, short films have become a medium for student, independent, and specialty work. In 2005, Disney acquired Pixar, and since then has produced a series of animated short films. Short films are a typical first stage for new professional filmmakers. It gives them a good taste of what it's like to direct, create, produce a film, but on a smaller scale. Short films have become increasingly popular as well because the equipment is cheaper and it allows more amateurs to be able to make movies, linking back to it being a first stage for new professional filmmakers. In addition, short films were initially shown at cinemas before films and stuff like that. But in modern day society, you can find the majority of them on YouTube and various other video websites. This is because over time, the majority of viral videos have ended up on YouTube. And if you want to make it somewhere by producing a video, then you put it onto YouTube, and that's what the majority of new short filmmakers are doing. What companies produce short films? There are several companies who produce short films. These include charities such as Fearless. They make people aware of what's going on around them. There is also companies such as BBC Short Films, who made a short film called The Beachcombers. This is used for entertainment purposes. There is also BBC Fresh, who create mainstream and new talent short films. There's also a competition called Virgin Shorts, which is short films between 2 minutes. And there's also BFI, a conglomerate for short films and full-length films. What famous short film directors are there? Pick 2 or 3 and discuss their signature style. Neil Blomkamp is a famous South African-Canadian director whose most notable work to date is Elysium, which came out in 2013. However, he triggered off his career by making a series of short films such as Alive in Joburg, Tempbot, and Crossing the Line. District 9 is an adaptation of his early short film Alive in Joburg. Something noticeable about Neil Blomkamp's work is the setting of South Africa, particularly the slums, but also this idea of the apocalyptic world in the future, which either has aliens or futuristic cyborgs or robots coexisting with man. James Cameron, arguably one of the greatest directors of all time, whose most notable works are stuff such as Avatar, Terminator, and Aliens. In 1978, aged 22, he created short film Exogenis, which cost $20,000 to make. And as you can guess by the title, it is similar to a lot of his other work, with this idea of sci-fi and futuristic aspects. And finally, Christopher Nolan, the genius behind the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and Shutter Island. In 1997, he created Doodlebug in his first ever short film. It clearly shows his dark tone, which he is now renowned for in all of his movies. One thing all these directors have in common is that they all showed off their particular style in early stages of their career, particularly in their short films. Over the years, they have simply perfected the style which has enabled them to become the directors that they are today. How do independent short films differ from conglomerate-produced short films? Short films are often screened at local, national, or international film festivals. They are quite often made by independent filmmakers for non-profit use, either with a low budget, no budget, or in rare cases, big budgets. Short films are usually funded by grants, non-profit organisation sponsors, or out-of-pocket funds. Independently produced short films aren't as recognised as conglomerate-produced films, therefore aren't nominated for any awards. Conglomerates can afford to pay well-known directors, cinematographers, which will raise the awareness of their short film, whereas independents can't. Are there any awards for short films? The answer is yes, of course. As you would expect, the two most prestigious awards which a short film could win is a BAFTA Award for Best Short Film and Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Film. The Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Film, aka the Oscars, were established in 1930s. A short clip called The Music Box, made and directed by Hal Roach, was the first to ever win the award. The clip starred the famous duo Laurel and Hardy. The BAFTA Awards were established decades later in the 1970s. The first ever clip to win this award was a stop-motion animation called The Bead Game. It was made by director Aishu Petal in 1977. Both of these awards are very prestigious, and they both credit filmmakers on their ability to make short films. There are also other independent short film ceremonies dedicated to independent short filmmakers and those who don't have their work noticed on a national or global scale. An example of this would be the South Yorkshire Filmmakers Network. It is a non-profit organisation which enables film-based networking and filmmaking activity. They also operate as a production company. How do short films create synergy with other products? Short films are not really used to create synergy with other products. Instead, they are rather used as a concept idea for what a full-length feature film could be like. For example, the major horror franchise Saw was originally created as a short film. This short film was used as a concept idea to show to somebody who could possibly invest in the movie, and they did get the sum of money they was looking for, and this helped them to create Saw. And now Saw has gone on to become one of the greatest and most successful horror franchises in the past decade or so.